The Dodgers' offensive struggles are not just a temporary glitch, they're a wake-up call. But here's where it gets controversial. Fixing this isn't just about star players returning or raw talent. It's about changing how the whole team thinks and approaches the game at the plate. Andrew Friedman, the Dodgers' president of baseball operations, once believed it was nearly impossible for their offense to rank dead last in the league, even for a short period. Just last month, he said, "If you had told me we'd have a 6-week stretch where our offense ranked 30th out of 30 teams, I would have thought it was 0% plausible." Yet, he was forced to eat those words. Between July 4th and August 4th, the Dodgers were shockingly last in scoring across all of Major League Baseball. Although they have shown some improvement in the weeks after, doubts linger about the effectiveness of what was once considered a powerhouse lineup. In the first half of the season, the Dodgers led the league in multiple offensive categories. Runs per game, 5.61, batting average, 2.62, OPS, .796, and hitting with runners in scoring position, .300. They posted an impressive 56-32 record over those 88 games. Then, everything changed. The team fell into a slump starting in July, averaging only 3.36 runs over a 25-game stretch beginning on Independence Day. Since then, modest gains have been made, but their stats entering September were much lower. 24th in runs per game, 4.21, 25th in batting average, .237, 18th in OPS, .718, and 22nd in hitting with runners in scoring position, .245. Over these last 58 games, the Dodgers have compiled a losing record of 26-32. "We're just not scoring runs, and that's not who we are," said first baseman Freddie Freeman last week, emphasizing the team's frustration with their offensive output. Initially, it seemed the problems were straightforward. Several key players were sidelined or struggling through lingering injuries, while others were battling swing issues. Depth players filling in didn't provide the offensive spark needed. Now, the Dodgers hope to leave that behind. Shohei Ohtani has returned to his MVP-level form after a slow middle-season stretch. Mookie Betts, despite a career-worst campaign, looks more like himself again. Max Muncy and Tommy Edman are back from injury, giving the lineup valuable depth and length. Instead of relying on lesser-known fill-ins like Buddy Kennedy, Alex Freeland, and Estuary Ruiz, a team's lineup feels more complete. "Our squad looks much more whole now," noted manager Dave Roberts. "We've been waiting for our guys to get healthy to see what our team really looks like, the one we all envisioned. But can it all be chalked up to just injuries and personnel?" Roberts and the players say it's far more complicated than that. While the Dodgers were depleted, they also lost focus on some of the game's fundamental strategies. They weren't pressuring opposing pitchers, didn't consistently raise pitch counts, and struggled to deliver in high-leverage moments. "We lost sight of playing the game the way we're capable of," Roberts admitted. Betts added, "For a stretch, we just had some bad at-bats." That's the core issue the Dodgers are zeroing in on as they try to transform their frustrating summer into a learning experience before the post-season rush. Recently, the team has refocused on competitiveness and approach at the plate. Daily hitters meetings now include reviewing video from the previous night, focusing on specific situations to understand what went wrong or right. Dugout conversations emphasize having a plan and sticking to it. "It's about your approach and executing your plan," Freeman explained. "That's where our attention has been. These changes seem to be bearing fruit." In the past week, the Dodgers unleashed powerful offensive performances against the Rockies, scoring 7 and 9 runs in back-to-back games. They advanced runners effectively, seized scoring chances, and built the big innings they lacked for months. "We told ourselves a few games ago, let's focus like it's the playoffs," Freeman said. "It's about the small details that help you win games." But the Dodgers aren't strangers to offensive collapses. The team's struggles this year echo past failures that cost them dearly in October. Co-hitting coach Aaron Bates recalled that late in 2022, after securing a sizable division lead, the Dodgers fell into poor habits. September felt like spring training. with guys fiddling too much with their swings instead of playing the game, he said. That attitude led to their elimination in the NL Division Series after repeatedly failing to capitalize with runners in scoring position. The next year repeated similar errors as the Dodgers lost their identity down the stretch and were swept by the Diamondbacks in the NLDS. Last year, however, the Dodgers finally overcame these pitfalls. During their postseason run to the World Series, they hit .278 with runners in scoring position and delivered clutch hits that tied and gave them leads in critical moments. This season's mid-year slump, however, rang alarm bells. Betts' slow start became a career-worst slump, hitting just .205 on July. Freddie Freeman also declined sharply, dropping from a .374 average in May to .292 by July's end. Edmund Teoscar Hernandez, Michael Conforto, and Andy Pages all struggled to regain form after injuries or slumps. Meanwhile, Muncy's knee and oblique injuries kept him out for most of the summer, weakening the lineup further. Suddenly, the Dodgers were depending on players trying to rediscover their swing or fill in for lost firepower. As runs dried up, their failure to string together meaningful team at-bats became even more glaring. It slips away gradually. You start to focus too much on fixing your swing mechanics, and you forget the bigger picture, Bates explained. Before you realize it, you're thinking too much about your swing and not enough about the game situation. Bates believes this problem came from a good place, players wanting to improve, but the daily grind of focusing on mechanics drains their energy and attention needed for competing in real game moments. This led to wasted swings on poor pitches and missed scoring chances. Guys got too caught up in their own mechanics, Bates said. They struggled to shift focus to competing in the box during the game. He noticed this trend especially during a 2-week medical leave he took in early August to treat blood clots, gaining an outsider's perspective on the clubhouse. Players themselves have echoed similar concerns after outings where the offense was puzzlingly stagnant. Veteran infielder Miguel Rojas said, after a 6-inning game with only 1 hit against the Padres, "We know we're capable of better. We just weren't delivering good at-bats or putting runners on base." Ohtani, speaking through an